Y'all, tell me why I was trying to talk and I was muted. Hey everyone, I'm back with another video. This one is a video to basically talk about what I liked about the Charmed reboot and what I did not like about the Charmed reboot. We all knew that like Charmed and the OG series are completely different. When we also know that recently, a couple months ago in June, the show ended. I'm going to share with you some things that I loved about the show while I was on, and some things I just didn't like, pretty much. So, yeah, let's get into this video. So basically, I like the fact that I like one of the things that I will always say about the reboot is like the representation. I like the fact that they in the series they show like the representation about not only about like all groups of people, not just like one group of people. They show like a representation of all group of people. Like they showed this show in like a different spin, whereas like the diversity. I love the diversity. I love the fact that they actually like showed like you know showed it around the point of view of like people of color, like showed it around like they had like Latina representation. They had like black representation. They had all type of representation, and not only that, but they also had the LGBTQ um, representation as well, which is pretty cool. It's not just like one way; it's multiple ways, and I like how they did that, and it was pretty cool on how they put all that together into like a series and actually showed it in like modern time. And that's where I understood it, and that's where I connected to it like quickly compared to like the OG series. Because I think this reboot was more in my time than like the OG series, and I was kind of snagging it to like make this video because I didn't want to get drugged for saying like I connected more with the reboot than like the OG. But I can say this: there are some parts in the series where I would say, okay, yeah, the OG series, the series done it better. I could say that. I could say that some parts of the series of the original series done it better. They done it better. They actually like did some writing better. And recently, also I heard that like, and not only heard, but also I saw it on Twitter that the writers of the two shows was basically arguing and going back and forth. The the writers from the original Charmed series were actually like, kind of like in a way celebrating that the reboot kind of like got canceled. And the people who basically written the new Charm series basically responded and like kind of like and all that stuff like that. And when I made the video and made the announcement that Charmed was canceled, there was a good group of people that was say that was sad about the show ending, but there was like another good group of people, good amount of people that was like, you know what, why y'all upset, why y'all crying? Because y'all should be happy. The show over. And I know a lot of people like the original, but I could understand like people are a lot of people liking the reboot too because like I was saying earlier, I like how it showed great representation. And it's not like you feel left out, compared to like other shows where you just always have like the representation of one group of people and not the other. It was pretty cool to see like Charm being shown in the spin of like showing like the diversity, like instead of just being like a regular like screen full of like this traditional. It's just like room, like it's just like go outside the box and actually like put basically make everything like to the point where everyone could get into it. Like it's not just like, oh, only this particular like group could get into it, or that particular group. It's like everyone could get into it. I understand why the first season people were like, I don't know, and I'll be honest with you guys, I was like that too. I was like, I don't know about this series, but I think once it got into like the second season, I think when I first started getting into Charmed, this reboot Charmed, I think it was wrapping up on the second season. It was wrapping up. I think, yeah. So when I got into like the Charm series, season 2 was actually wrapping up. It was almost the season finale. And that's where I'm like, you know what? I saw this show on here for a while. Let me go and check this show out. And then when I watched it, I'm like, yeah, okay. Then all of a sudden, like more storylines started like get up here, and like more season 1 went on, the more good it got. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? And then the whole revelation with Mirasol, and then like Charity, and then like you know some tea leaked out. I'm like, oh, that just got me to the edge of my seat, and I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. And then like it got to season 2, so I told you like recently, a couple minutes before I was explaining that I kind of got into it at the end of season 2. It was kind of like near the finale of season 2, and that's where I got into like the reboot. Now I really was never for like the OG nor the reboot. I didn't know nothing about Charmed. I heard about Charmed. I saw all these like edits like on YouTube. Sometimes I get like a Charm video recommended to me, and also like some of these trailers that's like saying like, oh, Charmed returned, or like some of the actresses who started on Grey's Anatomy, or like Chicago Med. I don't know what show they started. Like it's like hospital shows. They like literally could take them and combine them together and like make some cool trailers. And I'm like, okay, cool. But I never really got into like the OG Charm like that, nor the regular reboot until like the end of season 2. I just watched the reboot. I understand that there was like a regular Charm that my mom was filming on it because my mom watched the original series too. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, okay, so I tell my mom the new series. She's like, okay, then I was telling my mom about the new series. My mom was telling me about the old series, the OG series. And I was like, okay. That site, it was on what was it? Let me see. I think, is it on Tubi? I don't know. I'm trying to see. I don't know which. Let me see. I know Netflix had the original Charm for a short period of time, but it was removed. Oh, Pluto. I know Pluto have it, and other streaming platforms. I know Amazon have it. But at the same time, I'm like, watching all these ads. I'm like, oh, okay.
We want that dummy. You gonna?
Oh, YouTube, please don't get me, Miss YouTube. Oh my gosh, Miss YouTube. Uh-oh. Okay. So they only have 4 seasons. Okay. I don't know why I said Miss YouTube, Mr. YouTube. I was like, don't get me now, okay? I accidentally, I didn't know, like, when I clicked on the Charmed, I didn't know it was going to actually play. I'm like, oh, I don't need no copyright claim. So anyway, I think Amazon has it. I know that Amazon has the reboot. I think they should have the OG series as well. To be quite honest with you, anyway, so I liked season 1. So anyway, I do got a video actually coming out pretty soon for both of my channels to basically do my like season rating. I think I may reshoot that video because I already filmed the video already. But I do have another video called the Charmed reboot season rating from 1 to 4. Here is what I liked about Charm. One, like I was saying, like the representation. Two, I like the fact that they show more about unity and stuff like that, more like unity and things of that nature, even though like, both like OG series and reboot showed unity as well. Also, like I like the storyline. I like the writing. I like how it will, how it went in season one. Season two, I'm like, it was okay. Season three, okay, yeah, it was pretty good. It was better than season four. Oh my gosh, season four was excellent. You know what? Season four was excellent. I love season four. I love how like they like, you know, basically allowed, all the characters to grow. I will say this. I know a lot of people may not agree with me, but actually my favorite character I would say is, I know I'm skipping around, but I would say my favorite character is Abigail, or aka Abby. I like her character. I like her. She is so cool. Even though I know a lot of people be like, wait, what's wrong with you? You must bump your head because why you like it? Why you say your favorite character is Abigail? You must have bumped your head something, I like, that, that she was able to like, even though she had like, problems within herself, or like, have pain in her, she always, managed to like help everyone else, even though, she's like, yeah, whatever. But, I think like to be quite honest, to be quite real, if if Macy and Harry didn't work out, and Macy would end up being with Julian, I would say that Abigail and Harry will be a good couple as well, because we already kind of like started to. I think either what was it? I think season two. I think they were trying to like start to explore it, but they ended up going with like the Harry and Macy storyline, with them being a couple. But I would say like if that didn't work out with Macy and Harry, then I would say like Abigail and Harry would have been good. And one thing I would say I didn't like is that they didn't bring Abby back. That was like, wow, I can't believe they didn't bring Abby back, because Abby would, I felt like Abby brought a great touch to the show. I feel like that she pretty much, brought that like, good suspense in a way, like that kind of like that, like I like you but I hate you at the same time, like, it's kind of like, some moments I just want to like take you to that TV screen and just, but sometimes you're just like, you know what, I like her, I like how, she think, I like how she run things. I'm like, yes. I would say she's my favorite character, and also Jordan. I would say for season four, Jordan's my favorite character, because I like Jordan's growth. Because at first, I know Jordan probably didn't understand things like, or like how like the magical universe worked. But however, in season four, he did grow, and he began to be for like the people, and he's pretty much, more vocal about certain situations. And that's other. I was another person who was more vocal about the magical community, but now he's all up in his feelings. Now he's all, trading his powers back. I'm like, what is going on? Harry, what are you doing? One thing I did not like about the final season was Harry. He worked on my nerves. He literally worked on my last nerves. First back in season three, you literally like tell Celeste to give you back your powers. Then in season four, you talk to like Roxy and give them away, and get like got these necro lighter powers, whatever you want to call them. Like, dude, you literally worked very hard to get your white lighter power back. Then you traded away to like literally get some other power you know nothing about. And then like, when they finally need you, you just like, oh well, actually, I don't have my powers no more. I'm like, what? Like, because of that, like we're looking at you like, Harry, what are you here for? Like how can you protect them, and how can you heal them if they get hurt? Like that's one thing. Like, what are you good for over here? Like you literally are so useless. Harry was useless in this season. I'm gonna be honest with you. Y'all saw my reviews. Y'all know how Harry got on my nerves. Harry got on my nerves a lot. And all of us, I know I approached the nerd and Kilolo TV was doing the live stream, and we were literally dragging Harry. I was in the chat, and all of us was in the chat, and like Kilolo's TV and also like Approach the Nerd was on the panel, and we were dragging Harry for Phil because we were like, what is going on with you? You literally, I'm like in my head, like, what's going on with you, Harry? Because you literally like got your power back last season, and then this season you giving your power away. I'm like, come on, Harry, I don't got time for your mistakes. We all know you lost Mason. You ain't the only one, okay? And I'm glad that I'm glad that like not here. I'm talking about Harry so much. I'm mentioning him every single day. Anyway, I like the fact that Jordan was able to like grow to the point where he could like hold everyone accountable. And I like every single time where Harry got out of line, Jordan called him out for it and called him out for his selfishness. And basically, I was here for every single moment. And like I'm gonna say this. Speaking of Harry and Jordan, I like the fact that they actually grew closer together. I like the fact that they actually they were friends, but I like how they grew to a point where like they became like closer, like as like brother, like they had like that brotherly love for each other, and they were more closer. It was like kind of like they formed their own brotherhood, and that's what I liked about season 4 as well. Is that like Harry and Jordan got more closer and got bonded more. You know, even though it was through pain, but like they, bonded and had this brotherly love. So I like that. It was pretty cool. But I was like, Harry, you need to get together, Harry. I'm like, Harry, you need to get this together because I don't know what's going on with you. I'm like, Harry, what is going on? You literally like doing all of the stupid shenanigans that you never do. Like it's like the same stuff that he was warning like the girls not to do in season 1, 2, and partially in 3. You do the same stuff. I'm like, Harry, you moving on because Harry got my nerves so bad. Like Harry did the same stuff that he would warn the girls not to do. He do the same stuff. I'm like, Harry, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, anyway. This is kind of like a show podcast anyway. So like I was saying, like, Harry, good luck, Charlie. Like, good luck, Charlie. Like, we don't need you over here. Like, I like the fact that they made Jordan like I know the writers said that Jordan is not like a white lighter, but he's like I would say he's a healer. He's a healer. He's not a white lighter. They already said that he's not a white lighter. So I'm like, if he's not a white lighter, then what would we call him? You know? It's like that. Like, what would we call him? Like, if he's not like a white lighter, but he's like he has the like one of the the compatibilities that a white lighter would have, like healing someone. White lighters could like orb in and out. They could heal people, and I think that's pretty much it. But Jordan has one of them, which he could heal people. So yeah. So I pretty much think that he should be a white lighter. I'm like, well, hey, he should have a white lighter, be a white lighter because I'm like, hey, listen here. Anyway, one disappointing thing that I hope that I would have saw, which would have prepared for season 5, was one of the things I wish we would have saw Nico again. Which, spoiler alert, since the show was canceled, the showrunners and the producer and the writer were basically revealing that I think the writer, most of the writer was revealing that in season 5, Nico was the one who was behind like the unseen. I think that's what they were trying to like amp it up to be, that Nico was going to come back and then she would have some stuff like that. And I'm like, God darn it! Like Nico came back. Nico would have came back. One of the things I would say that was disappointing to me was Jada didn't come back. She was cool with her white lighter powers. Yeah, that was cool. Let me see. I oh yeah, I wish I would have saw Celeste back. I wish they would have brought Celeste back too. She was cool and she was everything, and she was like one of the only elders that survived, which because she went into the witness protection program, which took all her powers and her status with them. So I guess they couldn't track, or like trace her to be like an elder or something like that. I'm not sure how that went. But yeah, that was pretty good. I would say that was pretty good. Like with Kayla, even though season 4 started off on a sad note, everyone trying to like get used to Macy being gone. Harry was just like, I said I was gonna talk about Harry. Forget Harry for a second. Everyone was kind of like trying to adjust to like the loss, and I like how Jordan was trying to be more there for Maggie. At first, Maggie didn't want that attention right then and there, but eventually they started to like grow, and eventually she and I keep calling Jordan Harry. I keep mentioning Harry so much, I keep calling Harry Jordan and Jordan Harry. I don't. It's just like crazy to me. Anyway, so Maggie and Jordan basically they grow closer. Now they're doing good, and at the end of the season, or aka the end of the series, Maggie and Jordan are planning to move in with each other. And Maggie, basically, was happy. Not only was she happy to be with Jordan, but also she was more happier that Mel let her move out, because she feel like sometimes she can't do what she wants because she feel like Mel is controlling. But Mel isn't. I would say Mel isn't controlling, but I will say that Mel is trying to like look out for her more, because during the series it's like they depicted Maggie as being naive, and she don't know certain things. Like she basically walked into certain like dangerous situations, but with the whole thing with Parker, she walked into that, and like he couldn't control his demon side. He let his demon side, take over, and then he ended up getting killed, which technically, he walked into that. Anyway, so one thing I will say, which I liked about the series finale, is that is this. We're gonna have a moment of silence for like the Guardian, aka the original Charmed one, and her sisters. Moment of silence, because at first they were like, not like getting along at all, but then they realized there was the most important task at hand, and then they took it, and then they sacrificed themselves to the whole entire world could be saved. And for that, their memories will be remembered. And yeah, they were the best too. And like the whole entire story made sense of how they became, which that was, pretty cool. And like they mentioned how like they were the reason for like the sisterhood being broken. And basically for their punishment, one of the sisters was forced to live alone and roam the earth forever. One was forced to be in the tree and the command center, and because they took the other sister and basically bound her somewhere, I think, and because of that they broke the sisterhood, and for the punishment they were one of the sisters was put in a tree, and the other sister was forced to like be eternally roam eternally forever, until like they came together and reunited their sisterhood, and like gave their lives so that the world would be saved. So if you are interested in seeing the reboot for Charmed, then you could like look on Netflix. They have all 4 seasons, so you can just watch it from Netflix. Which I don't know why they took the original series off of Netflix. I think they had it, but they removed it. I don't know why. I think the cable companies have the original Charmed on demand, but I'm not sure. But I do know that the reboot is on Netflix. Absolutely. I just want to like give you guys like this like video on things that I liked and didn't like. I actually, compared to all the seasons, I like the final season better. I like season 1 and season 4 better because I like the writing. But like there was nothing wrong with 3, but like I kind of liked 2, but like it was okay. It wasn't all that. Uh huh. So I would say that. To be quite honest. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just wanted to like see what's going on my other end. But anyway, I actually enjoyed the series overall. I was wishing that like they would actually would have renewed it for season 5 because I felt like how it left off. I liked how they tried to like do it in like a multi-universe and try to like collab with the OG series. I like that. At least they were trying to like pay homage to the old series. But I didn't like how the original writers tried to like diss the reboot like that. And it's like from like I think like I to be quite honest, I felt like kind of like the original series was kind of like was pretty much okay, good. But like I felt like why would the writers be shady like that? You should obviously know that like obviously like the OG series probably got like gave like a good impact on everybody for them to actually do like a reboot on it. So you should obviously be proud. No, don't shade the actress. Like they were shading the actresses. I'm like, come on, really? That wasn't necessary. Like, come on. But then again, I'm like, you know what? I, enjoyed the series. I really did. I enjoyed it while it was still on. I still didn't like how the writers made Mirasol, you know, the community pool. I didn't like how they made her like the community pool. I didn't like that at all. Like I'm like, man, it was like if it's not one thing with Mirasol, it's another. I'm like, come on. I'm like, that's why we were all hoping in season 3. Like at the end of season 3 was like, oh, come on, y'all better not be saying that Mirasol got a secret child or something like that. We were like, nah. But now we found out that like Kayla actually like got her powers because of Macy. Because she got through Macy because of the fact that, Kayla, had cancer. And what happened was that, Macy actually donated, some cells to help with cancer research. And basically the cells that help Kayla like heal from cancer and get cured from cancer was basically Macy cells, and that's why she was able to like observe and like get like magic from Macy because her cells and her cells connected, and then she eventually was able to like get powers because of like the cells that Macy, donated. And Macy donated the cells because her father, which she thought was, was going through cancer, really wasn't going through cancer. And what happened was, apparently, just like Ray, Macy's dad did the same thing, and because of that, he got cursed. And because he got cursed, it spread it to a point where the curse ended up killing him because he stole like the ancient bowl, part of the ancient bowl as well. And because of that, he got cursed, and then eventually, it kind of like spread it to the point where the curse just killed him. That's what happened. What really happened. It really wasn't cancer at all, to be quite honest. Oh, Dexter. Dexter. That was the father name, Dexter. A Macy father, aka Macy and Maggie's father, which I'm like, what? Marisol was wrong. I'm like, really? Like, I will say this for that situation between that triangle, Marisol was so wrong. But then, like, she wondered why Ray left. I feel like Ray had every right to be angry at Marisol, but I didn't, the one thing I didn't agree with him doing was him taking it out on the kids. I felt like that was one thing, they get in the divorce, that's one thing, but I feel like he could have still been there for the kids. I understood that he probably, let's be real, you really don't want, like, especially if like the mistake that Marisol did, you see the mistake every single day, like, it's like, oh, it's like, torturing in a way. But at the same time, I felt like, he could have still been there for like the kids, like Maggie and Macy, not Maggie and Macy. I was gonna say Maggie and Macy, Maggie and Mel. But at the same time, he kind of like, well, I understood that, but at the same time, I felt like, his anger should have been at Marisol and Dexter instead of like, just playing out leaving and then like making your kids suffer. That's like, I'm like, yeah, Marisol, messed up and cheated, but like, I felt like you shouldn't like, made your kids suffer like that. That was like, really. You really thought you were making Marisol suffer, but you really were making your kids suffer. Anyway, I actually liked how like, Dexter and like Ray kind of like, Ray was able to like let go and forgive, which I was like, you know what, I like that, that scene where Ray was able to let go and like forgive and like let go while, he was, became cool with Dexter. I feel like, for Marisol, I will still, I don't care how many videos that I do about the Charmed reboot, I will still be on Marisol and still be dragging Marisol, okay? I'm like, if you were still if you had feelings for this man still, why would you go and literally marry someone else and like start a family and then go behind that person's back and then, you know, start, have another child with this man? Then like, act like nothing happened and then like, when the father find out, when I'm not father, but when Ray found out and he left, then try to like make it seem like you're the innocent one, then make it seem like Ray just like up and left when really you messed up, and like that's like I didn't get that. I'm like, come on, Marisol. But Ray redeemed himself. Ray, at least was trying to be there, And I like the fact that, Mel eventually, came around, things of that nature throughout the series. I actually appreciate that. And I actually like the fact that anyway, I like the fact that Mel was able to do that. I liked how Mel grew. I liked how the fact that Mel let Ruby move on, which I like. I'm like, yeah. Even though I feel like they were, if the series was continued, I feel like they were like was going to like push them back together. But I'm like, yeah. In a way, yeah. All right, guys. I've been on here for 30, almost 35 minutes. I've been trying to, talk throughout, this live. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. I love you all. May the Lord bless you all. I love you all. Bye. Bye.